Doesn't take a lot of work.
It's okay, it's a judgment-free zone. Open door theater.
All right, I'd like to call this Thursday, February 13th, 2020 meeting of the Finance Committee to order. Tonight we'll be following the published and posted agenda, and will be broadcast live by Chelmsford Telemedia and recorded for future viewing. First on the item of agenda are approval of minutes. Now, is everyone here tonight? Were they at the September 26, 2019 meeting? I can't recall.
No, it's not.
You were not. So I think, Pam, we're going to push those off again to next week. And then we don't have a quorum of members that were here last week either.
You were at
At the last
the
meeting?
September 26th
September 26, 2019.
That's when the votes took place. You were there.
I was there.
Jim,
for
are
that
you having a
September
meeting next
26th.
week?
Well, we can discuss that later on the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone was.
So everyone was there. Did everyone have a chance to review the meeting minutes from September 26, 2019?
I did a while ago. I'm okay to vote on them.
Me too.
Okay.
I did not.
You did not? Okay. I think we'll be pushing them off to next week, or the week, whenever we meet next. So we'll have a nice, full set of meeting minutes to approve. All right, moving right along, we have a review of the fiscal year 21 budget for the Cemetery Commission. And with us this evening is David Boyle, the Cemetery Superintendent.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So basically, it's a level-funded budget, as usual. So not a lot's changed. As far as the increases you see there, it would be mostly due to the three people I have, they went non-union. So they went to the personnel side, so.
Oh, they did, okay.
Yeah, so they're non-union now, so it's step and a level and so forth, PTO. So that's basically what you see there for that increase there, is they moved over to that side. The wellness bonus disappears, obviously because of that. As far as the expenses go, nothing changes. It's the same number as last year. I just moved some numbers around to fund accounts a little bit that were underfunded last year.
Okay.
But the number didn't, the bottom line.
Bottom line didn't change, but you adjusted where,
Yeah,
what
I did.
accounts they were in. Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So
Okay.
personnel hasn't changed. I still have myself,
And
part-time
the
secretary.
overall increase is 3%,
A little over 3.
3.01?
Yeah, 3.01.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
How are the projects over there advancing?
As far as with the expansion of Pine Ridge, we're at the point where I just ran out of time this past year to screen and loom. So I'm gonna try to put that off till fall.
Okay.
Only because if I do it this spring, I'll be fighting weeds. So I'm gonna try to put that off till August, screen it,
Okay.
hydro seed it, and then fix up the gate area there.
Yep. Okay.
That won't hold anything up, will it?
No, because once they hydro seed, you still have to let it sit for another year. Then they'll come in and they'll plug the areas. They'll mark the graves the way they're with the numbered plugs and so forth. And so it's still 2 years away at this
Okay.
point.
Perfect.
But are you going to pull up another cremation wall?
I am. That's my goal for the spring is one more wall. Currently, we're just about 80%. 80% sold on the 2 niche walls at Pine Ridge. So we'll be putting up one of those. And again, all those are cemetery-funded projects through the sale lots with the transfer at town meeting or cemetery-funded,
Got it.
which comes from the perpetual care interest account.
All right. Any more questions?
No.
Looks pretty good, David.
All
Thank
right.
you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
David,
Take
thank you.
care.
See you next year.
Thanks.
Hopefully not before.
I wasn't going to say it. All right, next we have the review of the fiscal year 21 budget for Council on Aging and Senior Center. With us is Deb Siriani from the Human Services Director. Hello, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good.
All right. So we have met with Paul Cohen and John Souza already, and they've asked for a level service budget, so I presented that. My first page is a little tiny, almost protest. I understand I can't get it this year. It's still a need for some more hours for our supervisor, maintenance supervisor, for the building. We find that he needs to be there a lot more than the half day. He's 20 hours a week. So I'm just putting that in to say I'll be back next year to ask again, because it's an ongoing need, and I think it's important that you all know.
So are you finding with that particular need?
Right now, what we do is, well, he's a kind soul, and he answers his phone a lot when he's not there, paid for consulting.
Okay.
And also we call the DPW, and we get in line because they have 28 buildings. So it's a lot of waiting, and some projects that have gone undone that I'd really like to keep up to date. Maintenance shouldn't be kind of a catch-up thing after things break. It should be about maintaining things. And so he just doesn't have the time to do that. So that's my little protest, my kind protest. So I do want to say the budget, the level service budget that I've presented is, the expenses are actually almost exactly the same as last year. Except they're moved around a bit. Our electricity has been decreased way down because of the management at the town level of the electricity budget. And so it's great. So we're saving a lot of money in that way. It's down like $8,000.
I can see that, yeah, it's fantastic.
Choosing for next year, and we still think that'll be plenty.
Okay.
So I've been able to use a little bit of that to augment some of the sublines that have needed some increase,
Okay.
including the Meals on Wheels. We see now it hovered over about 105 for a few years, and now we're up to 130 per day.
Wow. Okay.
And it's gone up to 135 recently. So on average, it's usually about 125 to 130 a day. And that's increased our need for more packaging, for more, everything, more food. And so those costs I added to the Meals on Wheels senior nutrition line.
Okay.
And the other ones are a little bit more gas. We've been increasing our transportation services.
Well, with that, and with Meals on Wheels as well. Do you see?
Actually, Meals on Wheels is all volunteers driving.
It's all
and
volunteer? Okay.
Yeah, and it's paid out of, not a stipend, it's reimbursed per mile.
Got it, okay.
So, that's paid out of a different account.
A different account, okay.
Some of our contract money from elder services, we pay for that. And so many of our expenses, we pay out of grant funds or revolving accounts with fee-structured services or donations. So, that being said, what I did ask for an increase with, see, I go right up to the
Look at that segue.
drum roll, please. So what I did ask for is the employee section and the personnel section, there is an increase for someone's grade to go up. It's our social services coordinator.
Okay.
And we found that she's a grade 2, and that's not really commensurate with a lot of the responsibilities that she has. So
Okay.
we redid her job description, and we've asked Paul if he would approve grade 3. And so that reflects in there.
Okay.
It's in the budget.
It's in the budget already. He's already approved that,
Okay.
right? Yeah, so that's the increase that you see
Got it.
there, step and grade. And the next page is that broken down per employee. Just to show you, David actually asked me to show this. It's a little show-offy, but it's a slide that shows all of our funding for personnel and how it breaks down. If you look at the first line of numbers, in the first color, that's general fund. And then each color goes down to a different account, and our employees that are paid out of those sources. So we have grant-funded sources, donation funds, the Friends pay us money, and we have contracts with elder services. So the second page here, the last page, shows it in a very exciting way. Drum roll, please. But if you take a look at, I'm trying to give you guys a show, see?
There you go.
But if you take a look at the pie chart, then you can see that 46% of our personnel costs are paid by the general fund, but 54% are paid out of other funding sources. And comes to, this year anyways, this fiscal year 20, 391,000 that we have to make up the difference. And that's just personnel. That doesn't include our expenses there's a similar breakdown. So just letting you know, we're working hard for the money.
Have you seen an increase in patrons this year, or
Increase in,
of people using the senior center, of people taking advantage of the senior center?
absolutely, absolutely. We're still seeing so many new seniors come in every day. Almost every day of the year, on average, we have a new member. So the past 3 years, we've had an average of 30 new members a month.
Wow.
So it's constantly building. And also who we're serving are people that aren't there, that aren't coming through the doors. The caregivers, the family caregivers of folks who we're helping out, or the Meals on Wheels clients, and the transportation, people that are going to and fro. So, yeah, I feel good. We're making good progress.
Are you getting enough volunteers?
Oh, my gosh, we have, well, you should know, your wife is one of them. He led me into that. We worked on this.
Of course.
Really? He throws me the ball and I.
That I would
lay
do
up.
that?
No, so we have over 300 volunteers.
That's fabulous.
And that's not including the senior tax worker program, and that's 150 slots that we manage every year, so.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we're keeping seniors off the street.
Those
No,
hooligans,
really,
yeah.
they come and they know that they're desperately needed. We make them feel very needed, that's for sure. And they're just a great part of making everything work, so.
That's fantastic. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe because of the way the things are funded, that you accept people to come to attend from any community. It's not just Chelmsford.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have about 12 towns that are represented right now. But about half of that is
Chelmsford,
Chelmsford's, yeah.
What radius does it serve technically?
Um,
Like how far
Eh,
out are the towns?
I guess the furthest out would be like Tewksbury,
Wow.
So
or
not very
Hudson,
far,
New
yeah.
Hampshire, over to Carlisle, Littleton, Groton, Westford, Billerica. But yeah, even Tewksbury, people were coming from.
That's
I
a
think we
surprise.
had a few from Wilmington that came to Bridge.
Oh, fun, all right.
Get them mixed up the bridge groups, yeah.
I love it.
And this Saturday night is a live band playing, no, not night, actually, they're having one at 1 o'clock.
Wow.
They're having an afternoon one as a trial, but every month on the third Saturday, they have a dance with a live band. So it's great. Fundraiser for the Friends.
That's fantastic.
That's great.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Thanks for your
Thanks, Deborah.
consideration.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. So next on the agenda, we have a continued discussion of liaison assignments for fiscal year 2021 budget review. So I'm going to pass out the current list. We're short a couple members tonight, but it's a short night anyway, so,
So sign me up.
yeah. All right, so Eric and Vicki, I'm not sure if you had a chance to review last week's meeting or not, but I ran through the list of what we currently had for last year. There were a couple of changes, but these are essentially the assignments for our liaisons for the committee and to whom they're liaisoning to. Are there any changes that you two have, would like, or would like to join something different, or?
I'm fine as is.
Okay.
Or if
No.
needed, I can swap with somebody, but I'm good with these.
Okay.
I'm open to taking on more.
We
too.
should get Nishoba onto the.
Okay. Well, actually, if you'd like to join the group, Amina wasn't able to do Chelmsford Public Schools this year. If you'd like to jump onto that group,
Sure, will do.
perfect. For the two school systems, we'd like to have the three there, so there's a lot to cover, so,
Great.
perfect.
Are you meeting with the school after you get back from vacation?
What's on Nishoba?
No, you're on the school?
Well, Kathy sent a note to Dr. Lang, and she let him know that I wouldn't be around and suggested a mid-March
Yeah,
review. He
they-
hasn't replied yet. Certainly, if he wants to do it sooner, we should move somebody else besides me into that slot.
Usually they come in later anyway, because they come in after the public hearing, and that's the 26th, I believe.
He's on vacation this week.
He's on vacation this week,
Yeah.
so. So we'll hear from them back then. You'll be back by the time we'd have them come in usually anyway, because if you recall, usually it's mid-March when we have the school systems in.
We'll be okay.
Same with DBW, or I can reach out to Gary and see if he wants to go a little earlier this year. There's a lot to cover with them, because not only do they have DBW, wastewater, sewer, stormwater, but they also have a number of articles that we may want to touch upon, and that's what I want to talk about next, is how we approach those. So we have a bunch of articles, and do we have this is the final approved?
No, that'll be next meeting, but it's really not gonna change.
Not going to change much, okay, perfect.
In fact, the stormwater bylaw is being pulled, so.
Oh, it is, okay. All right, so scratch that one. So, and Paul, do you anticipate any amendments to the 2020 operating budget? You do, okay. All right, so I'll add that to the schedule. Do you know when you'll have those figures?
We'll probably have them in March. Darlene and John and I are sort of, we discussed some of them today, but,
Got it.
the further we can go, the further clear it becomes.
Yeah, well, yeah, there'll be no surprises, less surprises, yeah.
That's right.
Okay,
Get it in your book.
and for collective bargaining, do we anticipate? Yeah, I didn't think so. So I'll leave that as a placeholder for the end of March and see what happens. Air quality studies is a citizen petition. Do we know who the petitioner is on that one?
Yes, it didn't list it in the warrant.
I know I only have the list here.
You have it there?
Gerald T. Hall.
Yeah, Jerry.
Okay, we'll reach out to Jerry Hall.
Sorry,
and-
Gerard.
Yeah, we'll reach out to him and see if he wants to come in and discuss that. The town charter amendment, I believe that's going forward?
Yes.
Okay, for the Board of Health? All right. Myland Ave, you and I, Eric, can talk to to Gary and Steve on that one.
Yep.
And then we'll just probably have you recap for the ice chiller and the enterprise fund. The DPW is going to be handling that?
For the forum, yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about when we meet with
Yeah,
them.
we'll knock it out.
Yeah. We have the telemedia computer servers. So Vicky, you're on with Pete, if you want to bring
Yes,
that
I
up with
will give
him,
him a
and we'll
call.
have them come in the same, talk about that the same night. Golf we usually use as a final, just run through. I don't think there's any change to the enterprise fund for that. No projects. Have they started the green work?
Yes.
They have, perfect.
It's essentially complete.
It is, excellent, okay. Revolving is usually, and community action program, fund, standard appropriation, cranberry bog dam tree removal and maintenance, is that gonna be DPW, or is that gonna be
Conservation, you might want to have Dave McLaughlin come in.
Dave McLaughlin come in for that? Okay,
Just explain why they're doing it, if they're actually holding environmental hearings on it.
perfect, okay, we'll add that to there, and reach out to him. And then the historical records for community preservation. Oh, that's the town clerk.
Yeah, the town clerk's request to CPC.
Okay, so I'll have Tricia come in and talk about that, but have her come in the same night that Linda Prescott comes in. Kathy said she's reached out, and we'll probably have them in next couple weeks. Stormwater bylaw's been pulled. So the easements for roadway purposes, I'm guessing Gary and Steve are working with that, yeah, so.
And the one at Dunstable is being pulled, so it's just the one.
It is, okay.
Ledge and Oakdale.
Perfect. And then we'll have Steve do his annual run-through acceptances, if there are any.
Well, there may be a couple.
Okay. You know, all that Chapter 90 money. And I heard today that the MSBA voted on the Southborough School roof. It was approved. That's great. Do we anticipate any additional appropriation needed for that, or? Okay.
The bid opening was, I notified the board, of Selectmen, the bid opening was 2 days ago, and we're probably gonna need a supplemental appropriation of just under 120,000.
Okay. I'll lump that in as the final review. Okay. All right, so I'll update the table. If we can target, that's what I want to talk about actually next, is the schedule, the budget hearing and Springtown meeting warrant article schedule. So I've heard back from Kathy about the library. They'd like to come in on March 5th, but that's really the only thing we have planned currently. I know in the past we've not had a meeting next week because of the school vacation. I don't know who's affected next week.
I know.
You'll be away. I think Amina said she wouldn't be available.
I'm not here either.
You're not here either, so
I'm here if needed.
I'm here. I'll check with, I think Kathy will be available, and I'll check with Anita. So we'll see where we are, especially with her meetings. I don't know, John, has Anita reached out to the finance department?
I haven't talked with her.
You haven't talked with Anita yet? Okay, I'll check in with her and see where that is and when she plans a meeting with you. It may be that we not hold one next week. I'll confirm that tomorrow or beginning of next week. Well, it's a 3-day weekend, so I'll confirm tomorrow. And we'll go and see whether or not we have a meeting next week, or if we just push off to the end of the month.
Okay. We met with Neshoba today, and they would like to come in on the 19th of March.
The 19th of
Possible.
March, okay.
Dr. Pigeon did bring up, and I couldn't remember, I don't think anybody could, if we had a preference of them going with the school system, or if it mattered. I said, I couldn't remember if we did that or not.
We've done that in the past. It doesn't matter if we do or not. It makes for a long evening.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I suggested they go first if we do that.
That's exactly what I said.
Because both presentations are rather long. We certainly wouldn't want to have the DPW in all of their articles that night.
Well, she couldn't do the 12th, but she could do the 19th, or if it needs to be later, that's probably an option too.
Well, they've approached first. Let's target the 19th for them. And let's all reach out to, I know Amina reached out to Gary Ryan at the fire department. I'll reach out to Chief Spinney, see when they want to come in. But a lot of these, it's as Paul, as you alluded to, it's pretty standard stuff this year. No surprises really, so it should be a pretty relatively benign
Famous last
review.
words.
I know, I hate saying it, I fear saying it. But honestly, I really don't see much here that's gonna be too concerning. It's gonna take a lot of our time, so.
Good.
Who knows, Pam, maybe we'll have a book early.
No, you really jinxed it.
I did that on purpose.
As long as the letter's done.
You like, oh, shots fired. I don't know, want to revote the reorganization? I don't know. All right. Any public comment? Seeing none, there's no press. That's a quick night. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
All those in favor? Aye. Maybe see you next week.
Take it.